Good morning. Coffee? With Todd?
Yes, please.
I think, yeah. Haha. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Mark Sokolis. Hello, everybody. All right. Here we are. Online. All right. Looks like we're on everything. All right, good.
Todd,
Huh.
my Apple Watch just told me that you were live. And look, there's a picture of you. That's the first time I've gotten that alert.
Whoa.
Look at that. You're on iWatches, too.
Woo! That's a smart watch right there. How cool is that?
Yeah, who's the person who got that?
All right.
Cool.
Well, we must be on if
We're on
if
Facebook.
Danielle's watch is saying that we're on.
Yeah.
Good morning, Tristan. I'll check my phone just to make sure we're on.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we're. Oh yeah, we're on. This is good. We've started off the day well. Make sure I'm on here. Oh yeah. How you doing? Did y'all have a good week? 3-day weekend for some people. What do we got? President's Day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5 degrees and sunny here in the great Northeast Kingdom. Yes, that's right. The 20th of February, right?
Yep.
So we got one more show in February.
Yeah.
Then we're on to March.
Mm-hmm.
March Madness. I love it. Good morning, Al. Nice to see you. So we have kind of a fun show for you. We always have a fun show here on Coffee with Todd. I'm going to sing some songs, show you some cartoons, and then I have a special interview that I'm going to play. Scott Wheeler does a show called the Northeast Kingdom Voice, and he had me as a guest on there. I'm going to play that interview so you can learn a little bit more about the cartoons that I've been doing. So it'll be fun. Chris Roy, good morning. March will march on. That's right. All right, let's get ourselves some coffee. I'll show you it when we come back after we start, but this is a roast from, where is this from? I don't know, but it's a chameleon, so it blends right in. Good morning, Marie. All right. By the way, this spilled all over Danielle in the kitchen.
Yep.
So we're going to see what happens.
Hopefully we got it out.
All right.
Okay, good.
Must have just spilled on you, lady.
And I guess it needed to, apparently.
Good morning, Donna. Oh, there it is. All right. Now that we have coffee, Coffee with Todd can officially begin. So, grab yourself a cup of coffee. I will be your Todd. Coffee with Todd starts right now. Good morning, John. Let's get this show on the road. Coffee time, coffee time, coffee time. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd, the show that's all about coffee.
And not about Todd?
With Todd. Oh, thank you, Tristan. Enjoying my cartoons on Facebook and on Instagram and midlifethesis.net. Good morning, Maxine. All right, so the coffee we're drinking today comes from Austin, Texas, but the beans are captured in Peru and Guatemala. They're captured, the beans are. They're not harvested. Captured. Here it is. It's Chameleon Organic Ground Coffee. Dark and handsome. Like me. We couldn't find one that was pasty and average. So we got dark and handsome. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Smoky notes of smoky dark chocolate.
I say it is pretty. It's a dark coffee for sure.
It is. I don't get the chocolate in it.
I don't really either, but I get the
Yeah.
like the dark chocolate would.
Yeah.
That density.
There
we
it
go.
is. Density. Well, it's chameleon, so if you can't see this, it's understandable. It's blended in to my shirt.
Whoa, that was smooth.
Yeah, you know.
You and your tricks.
Oh, wow. So Holly says, we are watching you from Burlington Hockey Tournament during our break.
Nice.
They're in the winning bracket. Play at 10:35 next.
Yeah.
All right, go Cade.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
How many more games are there? Are there? I got to work on my grammar. Anyway. Hi, Cade. Hi, Leah. Ryan. Holly. I'm guessing the dog's not there.
Probably not.
That's awesome. All right, well, go Cade.
Yay.
We'll be looking for some pictures on Facebook later, and I hope you win. That'd be
That'd be awesome.
That'd be super cool. All
Go for
right.
the win.
Morning, Lindy. Go for the win. Is that
Go
what?
for the win.
That's what Aunt Danielle says. Go for the win. All right. I'm gonna sing a song. I got some cartoons to share for you, with you, for you. I obviously need to drink more coffee. Let's sing a couple songs. I did an interview about my cartoons with Scott Wheeler on his show, the NEK Voice, which is a show on local access television and on the local radio station. What's the radio station? What's the one that plays the classic rock?
No. It's the Notch, though, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I was on the radio.
Notch, but I
Yeah. So anyway, what's cool about it is I've told you a little about my cartoons, and I've shared cartoons here on the show. But this tells the whole story of how I got started, and it's pretty neat. He even brought up some cartoons that I did that I forgot about. All right, here's the update, the hockey update.
Okay.
Wait.
This just in.
They could have 2 or 4 more games. Cade says he will score a goal for you guys.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Yay.
That's so cool. Just about a year ago, I set out on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Things got bad, hey, things got worse. Well, I guess you all know the tune. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. I rode in on a Greyhound. I'll be walking out before I go. Well, I was just passing through. Here must be 7 months or more. Ran out of time and money. Well, it looks like they took my friends. No Lord, stuck in Lodi again. The man from the magazine, he said I was on my way. Well, somewhere I lost connection. I ran out of songs to play. Came into town on a one-night stand. Well, it looks like my plans fell through. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. If I only had $1 for every song that I've sung, every time I had to play where people sat there drunk, you know I'd take the next train back to where I live. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Thank you. Still looking for me on your Apple Watch?
Well, you want to hear what's funny? It vibrated again when you were playing. It must be triggered by you or something, because then I got a photo of you, like an old picture. You know, sometimes like the photo app will be like memories or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's an old picture of you from like a couple years ago, just making a goofy face, and it came up on my watch. I don't know.
That's awesome.
It's even my watch is all about coffee with Todd this morning. Just
All right.
it's good.
I like that. Well, I'd like to visit the moon on a rocket ship high in the air. I'd like to visit the moon, but I don't think I'd like to live there. I could look down on the earth from above, but I miss all the places and the people I love. So though I might like it for one afternoon, I don't want to live on the moon. I'd like to travel the sea. I could meet all the fish everywhere. Yes, I would travel the sea, but I don't think I'd like to live there. I could stay for a day if I had my wish, but there's not much to do when your friends are all fish. And Patrick and SpongeBob aren't real family in a pineapple under the sea. I like to visit the jungle, hear the lions roar, go back in time and meet a dinosaur. There's so many strange places I'd like to be, but none of them permanently. So if I should visit the moon, well, I'll dance on a moonbeam and then I'll make a wish on a star. I will wish I was home once again. I could look down on the earth from above, but I miss all the places and the people I love. So though I might like it, I'll be coming home soon. I don't want to live on the moon. No, I don't want to live on the moon. Thank you, please. Need to cut my fingernail. There's a little chip on that fingernail, and it was catching on the strings, so I wasn't able to execute a perfect 10.0. I won't.
9.99.
That was a 9.99. I won't be on the podium.
You have received the silver. Yes.
That's right. Do one more song, then we'll do some cartoons. Cartoons!
That was a double harmonica minor.
Yeah, it is. How y'all doing? Did y'all have a good week? Are you like me? Are you about ready for winter to be over? Danielle's getting another cup of coffee. Hopefully she don't spill it all over. Did you spill your cup of coffee, Danielle?
No, I did not.
No, she did not.
It actually poured real well.
It actually poured real well. Well, I wrote this song to ease my troubled mind. Well, ain't that what good folk singers do? And I don't expect you to hang on every word. I just hope that you will give a listen through. Well, folks look defeated as I slowly cross the street. They're heading to the office from their cars. Well, you can see it in their posture and the bags below their eyes, longing to be anywhere but where change are blowing around. That old wind blew right through town. Yeah, the winds of change are blowing around. That old wind blew the shingles right off of my house. Now every night about midnight I fix myself a snack, but there ain't many victuals lying around. Oh, Mother Hubbard, I got nothing in my cupboard but this dented can of lentils that I found. And the winds of change are blowing around. That old wind blew right through town. Yeah, the winds of change are blowing around. That old wind blew the shingles right off of my house. Well, I quit the bottle about 7 years ago. I left behind the headaches and regrets, but I'm still living dangerously with caffeine, sex, and cigarettes. And the winds of change are blowing around. That old wind blew, it blew right through town. Yeah, the winds of change are blowing around. That old wind blew the shingles off of my house. So will a circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Thank you, please. That's a good one. All right, let's do some cartoons. Yay, cartoons! I'm like a big kid when it comes to cartoons. All right, as you may or may not know, not only am I a world-class singer-songwriter, I'm also a world-class cartoonist. Yep. I got this thing called Midlife Thesis. What is Midlife Thesis? A really smart paper that I've written as I've entered mid-age. No. Cartoons. It's the life, it's the world through my eyes, through that of a cartoon character. Or characters. Characti. Is that the plural of character? Characti. Sounds like carrot tie. It's like a tie that Carrot Top would wear. Anyway. These are the cartoons that I put out this week. On Wednesday, we had this one. One of my favorite little cartoons here. Not so funny, but very true, I suppose. And then today, the cartoon that I put out is probably one of my favorites. I like this joke. This is today's cartoon. Yep. I like this one. I'm not going to explain it. This is one of those fun ones where, like, the joke doesn't really stand out at first. And then when it hits you, you go, Oh, what an idiot.
Have another cup of coffee first if you can't figure it out.
One more cup of coffee before I go. I really should learn that Bob Dylan song.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Anyway, those are the cartoons for today. If you'd like to check them out, you can follow Midlife Thesis. You can follow Midlife Thesis on Facebook and Instagram, or go to midlifethesis.net. And every Sunday morning and Wednesday morning at 7 a.m., new cartoons, they shall appear. Speaking of cartoons, I was able to sit down with Scott Wheeler. Scott Wheeler, for those of you that don't live in the area, is a historian of the Northeast Kingdom and Vermont, really. He has a publication called the Northland Journal, which is circulated through all 50 states in the United States. I believe he's got some going out to Canada and stuff as well. So that's a monthly magazine all about the history of the kingdom. And he also does a radio show called the Vermont Voice, and he does a television show called the Northeast Kingdom Voice. And I was his guest about a week and a half ago, and he interviewed me all about the cartoons, and I figured I would just play that interview because it explains my whole cartoon path and journey very well, and it's interesting, and it's Scott Wheeler's show, and I'm just gonna play it for you guys. So I'm gonna sit back and have a cup of coffee with you guys and watch the interview and see what I can learn about myself. I never watch these interviews after they happen and remember anything that I said in them. So sometimes, like, why did I say that? I do that with this show quite often as well. Why did I say that? Why did I say that? So anyway, grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, take a load off, and watch this interview I did with Scott Wheeler on his show, The Northeast Kingdom Voice, here on Coffee with Todd. So Scott Wheeler now, this show is not just on the radio and television. It's now on the most popular coffee-themed show on Sunday mornings on the internet.
Right.
That's right. And if you like the most popular coffee-themed show on the internet, you can show your support right here. There's links in the description at any time. Yay. All right, let's do it. Scott Wheeler interviewing me about the cartoons. Here it is.
Well, Todd, is this a new adventure for you, or is this just an extension of one you've already been working on?
Is both, I guess. So I didn't do it for years and years and years, but it's actually before I picked up a guitar and started writing and playing music. My ambition in life was to be a cartoonist, and I probably stopped around 16 years old and just started back up. Well, January 1st was the official day, but in October I secretly, behind closed doors, started cartooning again.
So you've gone from tunes to cartoon, or cartoons to tunes to cartoons.
Yeah, from tunes to tunes to tunes.
Right.
So Danielle, my girlfriend, Danielle says that I should call it Pronto Tunes.
That's true.
And I said, but which version should I spell it? Tunes or Toons?
So tell me, I was thinking back years when I worked for the Chronicle, which now must be upwards of 20 years ago. Seems like there was a Pronto that used to submit cartoons to them. Was that you?
It was. Yeah. I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot about that. I wonder if any of those still exist. That was Steve Blake, who also worked for the Chronicle at the time.
Right.
And I don't really know how it started, but he said, what if we do a political-ish cartoon that kind of had to do with the Northeast Kingdom once a week? He came up with the idea, and I drew it. So I remember one of the cartoons. Remember when we had the Republican six-pack?
Oh yeah.
It was all of our legislators. That's what they. I don't know who coined that term.
I heard it was John. I heard it was John Hall.
Could be. I mean, we had them in a six-pack holder
Yeah.
driving down to Montpelier. You know, it wasn't any particularly biting editorial cartooning. But yeah, that was me that drew that. We called it Polytoons.
I know.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. See, that's
Like,
it pays to have somebody
It
who
does.
writes history on the.
Yeah.
Because
I wonder why we got fired from doing that.
Oh, did you?
I don't remember. Actually, maybe Blake left. Did he leave the Chronicle and then they just?
Yeah, he. I don't know really what he ended up doing, but
Yeah.
yeah, he did end up leaving. But
I haven't seen him
think
for
I left
years.
before him. You know, another cartoonist that I dealt with for years, and he used to provide me cartoons. Used to make them to order. Is Skip Sador?
Yeah, I never met him.
Yeah, Skip. It's funny. I never met him either, but I communicated with him all the time on the internet. He's an older fella, but
You never met him in person?
No, never met him in person. Came on my
Oh, wow.
radio show via phone. I don't even know if he existed.
It was probably somebody completely different.
No, it was Skip though, and he did a lot of what you did, except for his was hand. It was all just sketching, and he was I guess you'd say kind of like a haberdasher in his real life. But he always, when he was a kid, he wanted to be a cartoonist, and his parents basically said, "No, you're going to make money for a living."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so, but
They weren't wrong.
In his retirement, he became I used to call him a professional cartoonist. He says, "No, Scott, I'm an amateur."
Yeah.
So how do you base your like? Or I have one here. I see, yay, a brand new year. Now, tell me about this cartoon.
Well, that one was the first cartoon that I officially launched. So I started my website and my social media pages on January 1st. So
Right.
I actually created that last minute because I said, well, I suppose I need a New Year's comic.
Right.
So I just said, everybody was so excited about 2021 finally being over. And I'm like, it's going to be just like when 2020 was over. It's the same thing.
Right.
Just because the calendar flips over doesn't mean all the crap goes away.
Right.
So I don't know if that one's particularly funny, but it was the introduction to my cartoons. By the way, the name of the cartoons are Midlife Thesis.
I was going to ask you that. So, and how old are you?
Well, I'm 43.
So you're only planning to live to be 86 if
Yes.
this is midlife.
That's it. That was kind of the idea. So I don't know why I wanted to draw cartoons again, but
Right.
I think I needed something different than music.
Right.
Like, I love music. I love performing, but I think I got to the point where I wanted to do something different. So I started drawing again. I was like, well, most people when they hit their midlife crisis, they buy a sports car or they date somebody that's 20 years younger than them. And I said, well, I'll just draw cartoons. So I called it Midlife Thesis.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You said we all want to do something at midlife, and I think one of our guests in the coming weeks here is going to be Jen Barrett,
Yeah.
the state's attorney, and I've asked her on the air before whether it's too late for me to become, some kind of criminal, because I haven't even had a speeding ticket.
No?
And she says never too late for me to change my ways.
It's never too late to turn your life around the wrong way.
Yeah. So do you look at, I think you might look at life then the same way as I do. You ever look at life, even things that you do, and just laugh?
Yeah. One of my big things in life, in music, in anything, is I believe that people take themselves too seriously. And that's that's the point of this cartoon. This cartoon, it's not a political cartoon. It's not a character, it doesn't have occurring characters. It's not like Garfield or something. It's just observational humor from everyday things,
Right. Yeah, and what I tell people about my humor is I don't need to laugh at other people. or poke fun at other people because I have somebody looking in the mirror who I have plenty of material. Because I'll even, because, people don't need to poke fun at me because I poke fun at myself.
Right.
And believe me, I have plenty of material looking at me out of the mirror.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, then,
Yeah. But I don't know. Have you ever gone into a do you use any of your humor like with cashiers and such? Do you ever say? And
sure.
do you ever have them who don't know you? They look at you like say.
Yeah, and it was tougher when everybody was wearing masks because I couldn't see the smile.
Right.
So I'm really thinking like, what is this guy? Like,
Oh yeah.
Because if you deliver some dry wit, sarcastic thing, I guess you can tell if somebody's smiling through their eyes, but not as much.
Yeah.
So they kind of would look at you like, what?
Yeah.
A lot of times, though, I mean, I'm kind of a creature of habit. I pretty much go to the same 2-3 stores every week, so I pretty much know everybody.
Oh yeah. No, I'm kind of the same way. Now tell me a little bit about this cartoon.
This one. So I wasn't feeling well one day, and Danielle came in, and I wasn't like sick. I think I was just run down. You do too much, you get tired. And she says, "Wow, your complexion is really off today. Are you doing okay?" And my mind just goes, "Hey, that's a funny cartoon." Like, I mean, it all basically stems from something that happens in real life. So if you say something dumb enough on this show today, Scott, it might be a cartoon.
Where did you come with if? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that
when you say something?
You have recorded me dozens and dozens and dozens of times.
It's true.
And I dare say, I have yet to make it through a show that I did not say something incredibly stupid. And I'm sure the viewers.
There must be
agree.
one. You've done a few hundred shows at this point.
Yeah. Well, if you count the time, this is also being listened to on the radio. So.
Oh right. Nobody listening on the radio can see these cartoons.
Well, no, the technology isn't there yet to see things through the radio.
They should invent something where people could talk and video would play at the same time.
Kind of like television.
Yeah, they should invent something like that.
Yeah. So,
they could start in black and white and then eventually move it to color.
Right, yeah. No, that's it. And but back to the humor, not going into details, as last year for me and for Penny was a tough year. Mm-hmm. And the thing is some ways the only way we survived it was humor. Yeah. And some people looked at us, and they still look at us and say, "Are these people normal?" Because the way we have always survived, especially during challenging times, is to laugh. Because if you didn't laugh, you're going to cry.
Yeah.
And so we managed. We managed to make it through the year with a good dose of humor, and I think, I do know there's some people who are just we've left them shaking their heads because the humor we have found in such a dire situation was just it just left some people saying, "How do they do this?"
I think that's healthy, though. I think people need laughter. I don't think it's anything new. I think we've been doing it for years. Some of the most unhappy people I've ever met are people that don't find humor in anything.
Right. Oh yeah.
Or don't find joy in anything that.
And you know what's unfortunate too? Not always the case. Some of those people to the outside world look like they have everything too. If you material goods.
Oh sure.
And then some of the happiest people are people who they don't have much in things, but they have happiness.
Right. Yeah.
Because granted, I would prefer to have a wad of money in my pocket and be happy. Right. But since I can't have both, at least I try to stay happy.
Yeah. Well, they say money doesn't buy happiness, but this is a Mitch Hedberg joke. He was a comedian. He said money can't buy happiness, but it can buy a jet ski.
No, that's true.
Have you ever seen anybody not happy on a jet ski?
And the other thing, for me, money can buy airplane tickets, and I don't even care where the airplane's going.
Just
go.
Just play airplane roulette.
Oh yeah, I would certainly do that if there was a game where you just.
That would be kind of fun.
Just spun a thing or didn't even know. Just tell me how to dress, and I'll go.
Right, yeah, you certainly don't want to end up in Hawaii dressed for Colorado.
No,
or
that's
something.
it. Okay, here's another one, a wintry
I think
one.
people can relate to this one. I live on a street, and I also have a sidewalk in front of my house, which means it's not like a main street, but it's a fairly busy street. And so the snowplow goes by 6-7 times a day, and the sidewalk plow goes by 12-13, and I can just never get my driveway clear. And so I just I think I drew this cartoon out of frustration. But how true is that? You get your driveway looking perfect, and then poof.
Yeah.
I didn't draw the sidewalk plow in this cartoon. I have a beef with the sidewalk plow.
Well, I don't. You're old enough to remember Louisa Essoff and her little store on what you
Absolutely.
at the the building's gone now at the intersection of East Main and Union. Now
Yeah.
East Main and Sias Avenue, and you say you had a beef with the sidewalk plow. It is known that well into her 80s, she has been known. Well, she's now gone. She would go out and physically attack the sidewalk plow with her broom because she just barely, because her steps to her store, and then she'd go out bang bang, and that's the same woman who made the national news when she was when they tried to rob her with a gun, and she just chased them out of the store, and so
That's amazing.
So Louisa can feel your pain in spirit.
Maybe that's a good cartoon idea.
She's.
The sidewalk plow in the town that I live in, I clean everything out the driveway, and then it comes by and it messes it up, and it blows snow into my walkway and stuff. Like, can't you angle it somewhere different? If it's a weekend and we're getting a lot of snow, my neighbor sometimes will text me because he'll see it coming. Sidewalk plow's coming, and I'll go stand in the middle of my driveway so they can't blow the snow at me. I'll just stand there. It's like Custer's Last Stand.
But on the flip side, I'm sure there must be some parallel down in Florida. They don't worry about snow plows. But I guess right now if you read in the
Iguanas
news, fallen iguanas, they get shocked by the cold.
My father lives in Florida in the winter. They bought a house down there. He's retired now, and I text him and I said, "Hey, I see the temperatures are gonna get so cold in Florida. They're warning people that iguanas are gonna fall from the trees." And he's like, "Yeah, we bought helmets."
I bet he's a golfer, right?
Yeah.
How's Mar-a-Lago for him?
I don't know if he's been allowed to get in there, though. I'm sure he would jump at the opportunity.
I think he'd feel right at home.
I think he would. He's got a red hat and everything.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to inherit that when he goes.
Probably.
Okay, here's a Christmas tree one, and I always feel a bit guilty at the end of the Christmas season, taking that beautiful tree. I take everything off of it.
Yeah.
And then I chuck it right out the window. And today's actually the day I'm actually making a funeral pyre of some of the tree and some other scrap wood.
Yeah.
And I always feel kind of bad.
Lighting it on fire?
Yeah, lighting it on fire after it treated us so well.
It's beautiful, though, isn't it? It goes up in this blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a uniquely Vermont joke. Maybe not just Vermont, but
I'm going to tell you though, people complain about the price of Christmas trees around here.
yeah.
I have one son who lives in New Mexico. New Mexico, they do have trees there in certain parts, but he lives in Albuquerque. You don't see many. You don't see many Christmas trees growing right there in the desert, and so Christmas trees cost a fortune.
I bet.
So maybe that's what we ought to do.
A friend of mine used to work for a Christmas tree farm, and their bread and butter was packing those trees up and going to stand on a street corner in New York City and selling them for hundreds of dollars. And you get the rich people in Manhattan that can you bring this tree and set it up for me in my apartment? They tip you a couple $100. You can make a good living.
Yeah,
hawking trees. I guess.
I don't know. I doubt you could do that on Main Street in Newport. Hawk them for a couple $200-300. I know
I doubt it.
I know our neighbor up on Pine Hill. He sets up Zists. He and his wife, they set up across from Cumberland Farms every year.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
He lives up there. I think they live right there during it. And
That's like the unofficial start of the holiday season right there. When they set up, game over.
So now, what about this one, Vermont, -20? Tell me about this.
Do you ever think in the days before, and this goes for people that live in Arizona too, the days before air conditioning, the days before insulation, before heat, when the Pilgrims landed in Plymouth and they decided not to go to Virginia where it was warmer and they just stayed in Massachusetts and like, this is fine.
Yeah.
This weather's fine. Yeah. And then some of them moved to Vermont.
Yeah.
Who went through the first winter? Winters were colder back then too, right? Yeah. Who went through the first winter, 30 below zero, in a log cabin and said, this is all right.
Yeah. Well, remember what I do
this is fine.
Remember what I do for a living. I write history, so I can tell you.
You probably know a lot more about this.
There were a lot of people who came up here in the summer. Actually, it happens still to a degree right now.
Sure.
People came up here, and back then they were looking at these huge trees, virgin forests, and there was plenty to eat off the land. It was untapped, and besides that, you got away from people.
Sure.
But there really was a lot of people. So they go into fall. Oh, look at these pretty leaves. And then all of a sudden, they're dumped on by feet and feet of snow. It's really, really cold. And a disproportionate number of people actually left. And they either left behind the hardy people or the fools. I don't know. My family's been here for generations, so that you could say it probably left behind the fools.
Half my family was Abenaki, so they were here anyway.
Right. Yeah.
They were probably looking at the people moving here going, oh, those stupid bastards, they don't know what they're getting into come November.
you ever met, it's funny, you meet people who just moved here in the summer, and they're all full of spring in their step, because they've been watching, they know a lot about Vermont. They've seen those calendars. Well, the calendar come winter is, and this is all, I say this with total respect, because most of my dear friends are people who've moved here, because most people who really know me don't want to be friends with me. No. But there is an illusion that when you look at these calendars about how tough it can be.
Oh, yeah.
And
or even the holidays stuff, like Christmas cards and stuff. Blankets of snow. New England is like the picturesque snow-covered blanket town.
Right.
Man, when you live here, I like the winter. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I love it, but
what about tell me about how much you love it when the sidewalk plow.
Well, that's the thing. I don't like the sidewalk plow. And we just went through a snap where it didn't get really above 10 degrees for like 3 weeks. I don't love the heating fuel bill. But I wonder how many people moved here during COVID and bought houses are going to be here 3 years from now. The first winter they went through, I've talked to a few people. Oh, it's great. Like last year was a starter winter. Last year was not a tough winter. This year hasn't been crazy snow-wise. It's been cold.
Right.
Like another 3 years, COVID in the rearview mirror. I gotta go back to the city.
Well,
this is crap up here.
I've run to some people, like I think of one person, Peggy Day Gibson, who was at the Old Stone House for many years.
Yeah.
She was from Bradenton, Florida, and she settled here.
She moved here from Florida.
Yeah,
wow.
I believe Carl Taylor of Derby. He's a Floridian, and so there are people who make the migration here, and they stay here, and they absolutely love it. This year I have vowed, after this year I will never chuck another piece of wood in a furnace in my house. I'm having my heating system redone this year, and there's going to be no wood furnace.
You're going to do like a
just
oil, huh?
Just oil and wood pellet and no wood furnace. I have chucked firewood for too long, so I'm.
You've been a woodchuck for too long. Huh?
Well, that's never going to stop.
It's amazing.
But the good thing is now I have two out of three of my kids. They now live in at least fairly warm areas, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. So at least I can visit them. Whereas our daughter, who hates winter, and she decides to go live in a place that even has a longer winter, Marquette, Michigan, where her husband's from. And so while I'm mowing my lawn, they'll be still snow blowing. So here's another one.
Are you familiar with Snapchat?
Yeah, I am, but I don't really know how it works.
My girlfriend has it. You send pictures, and I send you a picture, you open it, disappears in 15 seconds.
Right.
So sometimes inappropriate things are sent as well.
Yeah, I was never into sending inappropriate things.
No.
You know why? Why? I know I'd send it to the wrong person.
Right, and then there's a trail.
Yeah, I know. I would probably send it to my father or something, or a sister or a daughter-in-law, and so no,
or a reporter.
Yeah.
Can I show you? I brought something special for you today, from when I was 14 years old, 1994. You ready for this?
Yes.
This is a calendar that I did.
Oh.
In 1994. This was my first.
Did you know calendars were going to be kind of like a antique or antiquated by the time you showed me this in 2022?
So what's fun about this is 1994 was so long ago. It's come back. See, look, Groundhog Day, Wednesday.
Oh, yes.
We're on the 1994 calendar is oddly specific to 2021. But this was what I did when I was 14 years old. I made a calendar with my cartoons, and chicken's done, and yeah. But anyway,
did you do any prediction in there about COVID?
I didn't. I'm not a smart cartoonist. I just wanted to show you that I've been doing it for a while. I took a long break, but I am back, and hopefully they gain a little bit of attention.
So what are you going to do with all these?
Well, nothing. No. I have a Facebook page, and I have an Instagram page, and I have a website, which is midlifethesis.net. And right now I'm building up the portfolio.
Right.
But the ultimate goal, I'll do a book. I don't think I'm going to do another calendar.
Right.
I'll do a book at some point. And when I get enough material built up to a portfolio, I'm going to start submitting to newspapers. Right. I'd like to draw these for newspapers. But, who knows? Newspapers aren't as prominent as they once were. Online is really where it's at. They get shared quite a bit online already. It's fairly new. I haven't made a cent off of them. I don't think this is necessarily something you can make a living doing, but maybe. But it's just for fun.
Yeah, but you got your money because you've told me about the vast fortunes you have gained by doing these little pickup gigs in restaurants and such.
Well, yeah, less lately. Yeah. Less lately. COVID put a stamp on that. COVID can't stop cartoons.
That's true. I know COVID's serious. It is. It's serious, but you even have to have lighter moments in that because I watch us going through the stores with masks on, and I think, I just sometimes laugh. I wear mine.
Well, in the winter, it keeps you warm.
Oh, I know. And you know what?
Like walking across that Shaw's parking lot can be kind of windy.
Right before COVID came,
yeah,
I lost a tooth and I had to get a $5,000 implant. I tell Penny, the timing sucked. Because
you could just worn a mask.
Yeah, if I had known I was going to wear a mask, truth be told, I think I told you this before I came. I actually had to clean up a little bit to come on the show because I go out and I wear a mask. I hardly ever shave anymore.
Yeah.
And so I said, all right, today's a special occasion. I'm going to shave. But no, you've got to laugh. I go up to, I go everywhere, and I look at myself and I just think, No, that's nobody needs to, I don't need to laugh at people because damn, I do stupid things.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and just, and I just think it's, yeah, as you mentioned, it's kind of sad when you run into people who just, they have no sense. They have no sense of humor, and it's actually, to me, it's a sad existence.
You know what's worse, though? When you've run into somebody that thinks that they're very funny and they're not. Oh, yeah. That's the worst.
Well, I don't want to go into great detail, but I know there's a Vermont comedian. I don't get it. I don't get the,
I know who you mean.
Yeah, and the thing is my like I tell my brother-in-laws, they're loggers.
Yeah.
And when they're retiring pretty much. And I said, you guys ought to go on a circuit because people who really spend their time in the woods, like some of the funniest people were foresters, like Jersey drowned, or his son now, Charlie drowned. People, or then George Buzzle. People who spend too much time in the woods either start hearing voices or they find humor because, and my brother-in-laws are the same way. They could just they could go on tour.
Yeah.
But no, I like humor as long as it's not contrived. So I happen to married into a family of comedians, and they don't get paid a cent to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to make money in entertainment.
Yeah. So, well, unless you are a Vermont musician, and I heard that, as you've told me many times, you really don't know what you're doing with your vast fortunes, and
not yet.
Yeah.
Storing it away.
And right on your door is a poster that I created for you. Right on your door, you put it on there. That you are one of the top richest Vermonters.
Yeah. I got it all in Bitcoin.
And you said some people have believed that.
Yeah.
That
when were you on
that magazine cover I
when
made.
Were you on that cover?
Okay. Well.
Well, thanks for having me on. I haven't really talked to many people about cartoon. You got the scoop.
Yeah, good to
I just kind of launched the cartoon.
You know what? It's now that's out. I'm sure Fox and CNN and all them. They'll be knocking on your door. They'll be pretty soon. Pretty soon, I'll be introduced to a new producer here because
I'll be a famous cartoonist.
Yeah. And thank you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.
All right. Well, I sure learned a lot about myself. That was fun. I thought that would be kind of neat because it was a fun interview with Scott, and it talked about the cartoons and some other stuff. And yeah. Thanks, Mark. That's right, Jeff. If we didn't like it here, we would move. It is beautiful up here.
I think we live for the other seasons too.
Danielle says we live for that 1.5 months of summertime that we get up here. Yeah. Yeah. Caden, what's going on, man? That was fun. All right, let's do one more song, and then Danielle and I are going to make breakfast.
We're making banana pancakes.
Banana pancakes?
You know the Jack Johnson song.
Yeah, I love that song. I should learn that song. Huh.
I just thought of it.
Mark Heyman says, trust me, summer can be overrated. Yeah.
But definitely all these seasons make you appreciate.
Yeah, the seasons, I don't hate winter. I get frustrated with winter, but I don't hate it. I love fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. Mark's from Texas originally, so the seasons are quite different in Texas. So, I mean, it snows in Texas on occasion, but not like here.
Yeah, I was talking about this with somebody the other day too. Like some of the smells though that you get in winter are great, like that freshness that just you don't get with any other season.
Well, you know what's great about winter is it kills bugs.
Well, yeah.
Mosquitoes.
You know, ticks.
Ticks.
Yeah.
Dead.
So, I mean, there's pluses. I mean, yes, the snow is
Oof.
really pretty.
Yeah, see, Mark just said Texas 115 degrees.
Yeah, no thanks.
No way.
I'll take
I couldn't do that.
85, sunny. Shit, I need to take 70.
I was gonna say, I think 75 year round would be good. Caden says, "Hey Danielle."
Hey, how's it going?
Tristan says, "I really like Vermont a lot. My mother and I moved to Newport when you were 2. Where'd you come? Where'd you move to Newport from?" All right, let's do one more song, and then Danielle and I are gonna make some breakfast. Banana pancakes. Is that what you're making?
No. Song.
We'll do a song. I don't know who wrote it. It's an old song. I learned it from Pete Seeger. I didn't learn it from Pete Seeger. I wish that I learned it from Pete Seeger. I never got to meet him. I thought I heard the captain say, "Pay me my money down. Tomorrow is our sailing day. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, oh, pay me my money down. Well, pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. As soon as that boat was clear of the bar, come on. Pay me my money down. The captain knocked me down with a spar. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Well, if I'd been a rich man's son, pay me my money down. I'd sit on the river and watch it run. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Hey! Well, I wish I was Mr. Bezos. Pay me my money down. I'd have money coming up to my elbows. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. For 40 days and nights at sea. Pay me my money down. The captain worked every dollar out of me. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Pay me, pay me, pay me my money down. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my money down. Yeah. All right. Aw, yay! Thanks, Mark. That's cool. I like playing that one. That's a fun one. It's pretty easy. I mean, I was gonna say right now, if you were just learning how to play guitar and you wanted to learn a song, That's only 2 chords. That whole song, man. I tune my guitar down a whole step, so this becomes F. But for learning purposes, it's a G. So it's G G G G G G D. The D chord is the best chord ever. D D D D D D D D D D D G G G. That's the whole song, baby. Yes. All right. My 2 favorite chords, G and D. I love them. Whoops. Hey. Take it easy. You guitar. All right, that's the show for today. Well, hey, if you have a 3-day weekend, enjoy your day off tomorrow. If you don't have a 3-day weekend, don't enjoy your day tomorrow. I'm just kidding. What are you supposed to do on President's Day? Buy a car, right? Or go skiing.
Right? And that's
Those are the things. You go skiing or you buy a car tomorrow. It's President's Day. I love car dealers have a sale for absolutely everything. It's always the same. Like one of my coworkers, like when they were buying a car. I'm going to buy a car this weekend because there's a sale. There's always a sale. Every time you drive by a car dealership, sale! I would love one car dealership to just have a big sign out front, one of those waving, flappy guys. It just says, no sale today. Wouldn't that be refreshing? Regular, everyday prices. The markup's insane.
But you won't buy it.
I don't.
Drive by. It's a regular sale today. I'm not going to.
I feel like I would reward them for their honesty. I feel like. Because when you buy in a car, you're getting screwed anyway. It doesn't matter if there's a sale. They pay like $9 for the car and sell it to you for $30,000.
True, but
That's not factual.
that was a little out of context, but yes.
Regular, everyday prices.
Oh boy.
Oswego, New York. Cool. I've never been there, Tristan. All right, that's the show, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you again, of course, next week. If the good Lord's willing and the creek don't freeze.
Well, it rose the other day.
I did rise. Supposed to warm back up, right? It's like 5 degrees right now. We're supposed to be in the 40s later. Yeah. All right. Be safe. Be well, everybody. Thank you so much for spending some of your Sunday morning with me. It means a lot to me. Every week, you guys are here. Without fail. I love it. It means the world to me. So thank you for letting me entertain you for a little bit and be part of your Sunday routine. And we'll see you out there in the real world very soon. And back here virtually next Sunday. So be safe. Be well. We'll see you next time. Cheers, everybody.